Hello students, in today's video we will be seeing about the Vardhanas. Before getting into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel without subscribing, please do subscribe my channel and share it with your friends. It will be of a great encouragement for me. Please do click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. Now without wasting time, let us get into the video. Vardhanas. Political disunity existed in North India after the Guptas. Now we have seen about the Gupta dynasty and what happened and how did it disintegrate. Now after the Guptas, there was a lot of political disunity which existed in North India. Some small kingdoms became independent because of the invasion of Huns. So there were many small kingdoms which became independent after the Guptas, and this happened because of the invasion of Huns. Vardhanas of Pushyabhuti lineage was one such independent state. So there were many small kingdoms which became independent after the Guptas, and one such a state which became independent was the Vardhanas of Pushyabhuti lineage. The main sources which helps us to know about the Vardhanas are Siyuki of Hieuntsang, Harshacharita of Banabhatta, and the copper plate inscription of Harshavardhana. So many sources, many literary sources help us to know about the Vardhanas. One is Siyuki by Chinese traveller Hieuntsang, then Harshacharita written by Banabhatta, and the copper plate inscription of Harshavardhana. From all these works we get information about the history of Vardhanas. Pushyabhuti was the originator of the Vardhana. So the originator of the Vardhana dynasty was Pushyabhuti, and Harshavardhana united the small kingdoms of North India and achieved political unity. So even though Pushyabhuti was the originator, one of the greatest ruler of Vardhana dynasty was Harshavardhana. Why? Because he united the small kingdoms of North India and he achieved political unity. So we have already seen that after the Guptas there was political disunity in North India, and when Harshavardhana came to power, he united all these small kingdoms which were disunited. He united them, and thus he achieved political unity. So Vardhanas, the political disunity existed in North India after the Gupta time. Some small kingdoms became independent, and one among them was Vardhanas of Pushyabhuti lineage. The main sources which help us to know about the Vardhanas are Siyuki of Hieuntsang, Harshacharita of Banabhatta, and the copper plate inscription of Harshavardhana. Pushyabhuti was the originator of Vardhanas, and Harshavardhana united the small kingdoms of North India and achieved political unity. Now let us see in detail about Harshavardhana. He was the greatest ruler of Vardhanas. So as I have already said, one of the greatest ruler of Vardhanas was Harshavardhana. He came to power in 606 century era. His parents were Prabhakara and Yashomati. So Harshavardhana's parents were Prabhakara and Yashomati. He had an elder brother Rajavardhana and a sister named Rajashri. So Prabhakara and Yashomati were his parents, and Harshavardhana had one brother and sister, that is Rajavardhana and Rajashri. Thaneshwar was his capital. He was also called as Shiladitya. Harshavardhana had a title, that is Shiladitya. So this much was about the family history, about his parents and his brother and sister. We have seen in the last part. Now let us see what was the situation in which he came to power. Pained by the death of her husband, Yashomati committed sati in 605 century era. So Prabhakara died, and pained by that or upset because of that, Yashomati, that is Harshavardhana's mother, committed sati in 605 century era. So he lost his father and mother in 605 century era. So Prabhakara passed away, and upset of that, Yashomati jumped into the funeral of her husband and thus committed sati. So now Harshavardhana's parents both are not there. Devagupta, the ruler of Malwa, killed Rajashri's husband Gruhavarma. So we have already seen who is Rajashri. Rajashri is Harshavardhana's sister. So when his parents had passed away, during those time only, Devagupta, who was the ruler of Malwa, killed his sister's husband, that is Rajashri's husband, Gruhavarma. So Harshavardhana was the greatest ruler of Vardhanas. He came to power in 606 century era. His parents were Prabhakara Vardhana and Yashomati, and he had an elder brother Rajavardhana and a sister Rajashri. Thaneshwar was his capital, and he also was called as Shiladitya. Now his father passed away, and pained by this, Yashomati committed sati in 605 century era. Devagupta, the ruler of Malwa, killed his sister's husband, that is Rajashri's husband, Gruhavarma. Rajashri was imprisoned at Kanauj. So Rajashri's husband Gruhavarman was killed, and Rajashri was imprisoned at Kanauj. Rajavardhana, that is Harshavardhana's elder brother, went to get her released, but he also was killed by Shashanka of Gaudadesha. So Rajavardhana went to get his sister released, but he was killed by Shashanka of Gaudadesha. It was in this situation or in this circumstance that Harshavardhana came to power. So now you have to understand the situation of Harshavardhana. He lost his parents, that is Prabhakara Vardhana and Yashomati. His sister's husband was killed. His sister was imprisoned, that is Rajashri was imprisoned. His brother who went to release her, he also was killed. So that was the situation when Harshavardhana came to power, and the only one person alive in his family was his sister Rajashri. His main aim was to release Rajashri and to take revenge on Shashanka. So the main aim of Harshavardhana was the release of Rajashri and to take revenge on Shashanka of Gaudadesha, who had killed Harshavardhana's brother. So once more I will tell, Rajashri was imprisoned at Kanauj, and Rajavardhana went to get her released, and he was killed by Shashanka of Gaudadesha. In this situation, Harshavardhana came to power, and his main aim was to release Rajashri and to take revenge on Shashanka of Gaudadesha. Now let us see what were the achievements of Harshavardhana. Rajashri escaped from prison and went towards Vindhya mountains. So now Rajashri, she was in prison at Kanauj, so she escaped from the prison and went towards Vindhya mountains. Harshavardhana, who came to know of this, prevented her from jumping into the pyre. So Rajashri was about to jump into the pyre and commit suicide. So Harshavardhana came to know of this, and he prevented her from jumping into the pyre. Harshavardhana added Kanauj to his empire and made it his second capital. So that was the first main achievement. He added Kanauj to his empire and made Kanauj his second capital. First capital was Thaneshwar, and Kanauj became the second capital. So Rajashri, she escaped from the prison, went to Vindhya mountains. Harshavardhana came to know about this and prevented her from jumping into the pyre, and he added Kanauj to his empire and made it his second capital. Harshavardhana, with the help of Bhaskara Varma of Kamarupa, attacked Shashanka of Gaudadesha and took revenge. Now we have already seen that one of the main aim of Harshavardhana was to take revenge on Shashanka of Gaudadesha. So Harshavardhana, with the help of Bhaskara Varma of Kamarupa, attacked Shashanka and took revenge. He also defeated Devagupta of Malwa and annexed it to his kingdom. We already know that Devagupta of Malwa was a person who had killed Rajashri's husband Gruhavarman. So he also defeated Devagupta of Malwa, and he annexed Malwa to his kingdom. By 612 century era, he achieved complete control over Pancha Sindhus of Punjab. So he continuously started attacking the places, and he continuously started conquering the areas, and by the end of 612 century era, he achieved complete control over Pancha Sindhus of Punjab. Kanauj, Bihar, Orissa and other places were added to his kingdom. Kanauj you have already seen, and he also added Bihar and Orissa and many other places to his kingdom. Dhruvasena too of Vallabhi was defeated by him. So he defeated Shashanka of Gaudadesha, Devagupta of Malwa, and again he defeated Dhruvasena too of Vallabhi. Harshavardhana gave his daughter in marriage to him and established a good relationship with him. But after defeating him, later Harshavardhana entered into a matrimonial alliance with Dhruvasena too of Vallabhi. He gave his daughter in marriage to him and established a good relationship with him. After the death of Shashanka of Gaudadesha, Harshavardhana won Orissa, Magadha, Vodra and Bengal. So after the death of Shashanka, Harshavardhana won places like Orissa, Magadha, Vodra and Bengal. So Harshavardhana, with the help of Bhaskara Varma of Kamarupa, attacked Shashanka of Gaudadesha and he took his revenge. He also defeated Devagupta of Malwa and annexed it to his kingdom. By 612th century era, he achieved complete control over Pancha-Sindhus of Punjab. Kanauj, Bihar, Orissa and other places were added to his kingdom. Dhruvasena too of Vallabhi was defeated by him, and Harshavardhana gave his daughter in marriage to him and established a good relationship with him. After the death of Shashanka of Gaudadesha, Harshavardhana won Orissa, Magadha, Vodra and Bengal. He also defeated the ruler of Nepal and received tributes from him. So Harshavardhana also defeated the ruler of Nepal and he received tributes from him. To commemorate all these achievements, he took the title Uttarapatheshwara. So Harshavardhana conquered all these places, and to commemorate all these achievements, he took the title Uttarapatheshwara. So Harshavardhana is very famous as Uttarapatheshwara. So now let us see the war with Pulakeshi too. Harshavardhana tried to extend his empire in the south beyond the river Narmada. So after all these conquests, he took the title Uttarapatheshwara. After that, he tried to extend his empire in south beyond the river Narmada. The Battle of Narmada took place between Harshavardhana and Pulakeshi II in 634 century era. So the famous Battle of Narmada took place between Harshavardhana and Pulakeshi II in 634 century era. Harshavardhana was defeated in this battle. So after all the other achievements, in the Battle of Narmada, Harshavardhana was defeated by Pulakeshi II. So Harshavardhana, he tried to extend his empire in south beyond river Narmada, and there the Battle of Narmada took place between Harshavardhana and Pulakeshi II. But in this battle, Harshavardhana was defeated by Pulakeshi II. After this, Pulakeshi took the title Parameshwara. So when Pulakeshi was able to defeat Harshavardhana, Pulakeshi took the title Parameshwara. Aihole inscription explains about Harshavardhana's defeat. So the defeat of Harshavardhana after all this success is explained in the Aihole inscription. It says that Harsha's Harsha flew away, seeing his war elephants falling in the battlefield. So according to Aihole inscription, Harsha's Harsha, that is Harshavardhana's Harsha means joy. Harshavardhana's joy or happiness flew away, seeing his war elephants falling in the battlefield. So when Harshavardhana saw his war elephants falling down in the battlefield, all his happiness went away. That was what was meant in the Aihole inscription. Hieuntsang also mentions about Harsha's defeat. Hieuntsang in his work Siyuki also mentions about the defeat of Harshavardhana. Narmada river became the border between these two empires. So now after the battle of Narmada river became the border between these two empires. Harshavardhana's fame spread in foreign countries also, and he exchanged ambassadors with China. So Harshavardhana was very famous that his fame spread into foreign countries, and he even exchanged ambassadors with China. Harshavardhana is known for uniting North India after the Guptas. So as we have seen in the beginning of the chapter, after the Guptas, the whole of North India was disunited, and the credit of uniting North India still goes to Harshavardhana. His empire extended from Punjab in the west to Bengal and Orissa in the east, and Himalayas in the north to Narmada river in the south. So Harshavardhana's empire extension is from Punjab in the west to Bengal and Orissa in the east, Himalayas in the north, and Narmada river in the south. So in Aihole inscription, so Harshavardhana was defeated in the battle of Narmada by Pulakeshi, and Aihole inscription explains about his defeat. It says that Harsha's Harsha flew away seeing his war elephants falling in the battlefield. Hieuntsang also mentions about Harsha's defeat. Narmada river became the border between these two empires. Harshavardhana's fame spread in foreign countries also, and he exchanged ambassadors with China. Harshavardhana is known for uniting North India after the Guptas, and his empire extended from Punjab in the west to Bengal and Orissa in the east, and Himalayas in the north to Narmada river in the south. So all these are the main points regarding the achievements of Harshavardhana. So I hope you have understood all these points clearly. I'll be uploading more videos regarding Vardhanas in the coming days. So if you have liked the video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you all soon in the next video. Thank you for watching.